muted. You're muted. I can hear you. Can
Good
you
afternoon.
unmute yourself?
Good afternoon, Dr. Freddy. Dr. Freddy.
Hello, hello.
Okay, so
Yeah,
we are live everywhere.
Brema
Hope
Kabore
you.
from Burkina Faso in West Africa.
Oh, Mr. Kabure, how are you?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you so much for your support last time.
You're welcome. You're welcome. We have Mr. Dr. Temba. Hello, hello.
Hi, Doc. Hi, Doc.
How are you?
I'm okay.
I'm so happy to see you.
And
Fantastic.
excited. I'm okay and excited. And how are you?
Fantastic. I'm doing great.
Thank you.
I'm so
Thank
happy
you.
to see you today.
Yes, yes, same here.
And we have Hani Kusuraju. Am I correct?
Doctor. Hey, yes,
Hey.
Funny Kosaraju.
Fantastic. How are you today, sir?
I'm doing good, excited to see so many successes along with me. Congratulations to everyone.
Hello, hello, Dr. Peter.
Hey.
Sanga.
I think we're about ready to start.
Hope you're
How
doing
are
great.
you?
Okay,
I'm going to start the recording and get moving. Oh, wait. Okay. Make sure I have to rename myself. Make sure your where your name is, where your picture is, make sure your name is there. I see Techno Canon 15 Air. If you can write your name.
I can see.
See Dr. Adesina. Dr. Adesina, do you want to put in Oluwafemi?
Okay, I'll try to do that.
Okay. And let's see.
Hello, Dr.
Next
Amadou.
there. I want to.
Usman.
And Temba.
Hello, hello.
Let me
How
see.
are you, sir?
Temba is, whoop, that's not right.
Hi, Doc.
How do you spell your last name? Is it G-O?
G-O-L-A.
There.
Yes, there you are.
Ali, what is your name? I can't hear you. Go ahead and activate your microphone.
Unmuted. Yes. You hear me now?
Yes.
Can hear
Good
you.
morning, everyone, or good afternoon,
Hello.
everyone. My name is Ali Jean-Francois.
Oh, Dr. Ali Jean-Francois.
Did I write it
Yes.
correctly?
How you doing,
French.
Dr. Freddy?
Did I write it correctly?
Yes.
Hello, Dr. Lambert.
Yes.
Oui.
How
Oui.
are you?
Oh,
Bonjour.
Nice to see you again.
Bonjour. Bon. Et comment ça
ça va
va?
bien. Ça va très bien.
Oui, ça va bien.
C'est bien.
Super.
Oh, tu parles français, Dr. Edouard?
C'est Dr. Freddy.
Not the pledge. The pledge.
Je parle très bien français.
Yeah. Dr. Freddy's learning Spanish. Now I need to learn French.
And the computer will go the next way go.
Now, why is it at the background? When I mute the camera after the.
Okay, I'm going to start the recording.
in progress.
Welcome to Atlantic International University. This is going to be the conference for the graduates for human rights and for taking the AIU pledge. And the AIU pledge will be about a promise that you make for the future for human rights and a more inclusive world, and doing your best to make the world a sustainable, better place. Welcome, everybody. My name is Dr. Edward Lambert. I'm joined with Dr. Freddy Freges and Dr. Adesina Oluwafemi. You can both raise your hands. There we go.
Hello.
So,
hi, guys. Congratulations.
So basically, this is a celebration. This is where we get together for graduation. We're going to talk about human rights and objectives for the future, but we also want you to participate with things about your own life, how this degree is going to change your life, increase your income, give you new job opportunities. We want to hear your stories. Now, because of the time limit, we'll start by doing short introductions at the beginning, no more than a minute, probably 30 seconds to a minute for your introductions. And then later you're given about 3 minutes to talk about your experience with AIU, where you're going with your life, and how job opportunities you have, projects you're working on. You'll have about three minutes to 4 minutes to express those thoughts. Everybody, are we agreed?
Yes.
All right. So now let's do a quick introduction to.
Yeah, let's start with Dr. Samuel.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are. My name is Dr. Samuel Bogu. I'm residing in the United States of America, Maryland to be precise. Already working with the Department of Environment here. I'm a senior geologist with the Department of Environment. And I had my first and second degree from Nigeria, geology and applied geophysics. So working now as having my doctorate with AIU has given me more enlightenment now to be able to be a lover of the environment. And my goal is someday and sometime I need to go back to Nigeria to really see how to be able to address the decadence and all the dilapidating environmental issues there back in my country, because it's an eyesore when I left years ago. So with this now, I'm gathering more momentum and seeing and working in environments in the Western world to be able to understand how to be able to mitigate issues concerning the environment.
What degree did you study at AIU?
Environmental sciences.
A bachelor's, master's, doctorate, what level?
Doctorate in environmental sciences. That's what I studied to get more of the skills. And now working with the Department of Environment here in Maryland, United States, it's giving me a broader view to be able to apply. And the skills I've acquired again in my PhD program and in environmental science in AIU has given me more courage and to be able to see how we can actually have environmental sustainability in my country, Nigeria, and it will spread to the neighboring country too, Cameroon, Ghana, and West African. That's the goal. And it's good seeing everyone on this platform. At least I have the faces and the numbers and the alumni, so I can work together collaboratively to be able to achieve this goal. Thank you very much, AIU. I appreciate everything.
See, this is the thing with Nigeria. There's so much wealth, and there's wealth that comes into Nigeria. More educated people in Nigeria will bring more wealth to the common population. That's going to create stability.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Samuel, for your excellent presentation. We can move with Dr. Temba Gola. Please go ahead, sir.
Good evening, colleagues. Good evening, doctors. My name is Temba Gola. I originate from Nelson Mandela's land in South Africa, in the Eastern Cape. Nelson Mandela municipality, that's where I reside. I have done my PhD through AIU in social science. Let me express my gratitude to the university first of it all, because they gave me an opportunity to access an academic environment. I'm quite excited, to be honest, because this has been my dream all along. But more about that than I would like to be involved. I have already written a book. The thesis that was approved, Doc, it was converted into a book. Is in circulation as I speak to you. The second one, I'm busy with the second one, the middle of the second one. My intentions, because I think I got married with the topic of poverty alleviation, which I have decided to embrace it and make a difference. I am currently working for South African Social Security Agency, where we disperse social grants in South Africa. You might understand we have a new grant, which is SRD, which is Social Distress of Relief, that was triggered by COVID. It was a special grant that has been established or introduced due to the poverty and because a lot of people lost their jobs. So we have that one. I think South Africa is in the process of creating basic income grant for those that are unemployed. So I'm quite excited to use my skills that I have acquired from the university for the benefit of the poor, so that we can come up with poverty alleviation strategies. So that I'm quite excited. I'm quite excited to meet the other colleagues. Thanks a lot.
Dr. Temba,
No, let me just
thank you so much.
We want you to quickly tell us, in summary, what your book is all about. I mean, what will this book, how will this book contribute to poverty alleviation in South Africa?
All right, the book emanated from my thesis. My thesis was about, my research topic was about the best method of paying social grants. You'll remember South Africa, there's a combination of urban and rural areas. To an extent that there has been a problem in terms of the social grants beneficiaries to access grants, even those that are already approved. But because of the diversity of the geographical environment that we have. So my thesis and my book is actually analyzing the current challenges, the payment challenges or channels, and I have sponsored now the mitigating factors and suggestion to the department. As a result, in 2 weeks' time, I will present that book to the department itself.
Excellent, excellent, Dr. Temba.
Okay, so for these introductions, let's try to keep it to your name, where you're from, where you studied at AIU, and maybe 1 or 2 more sentences. So try and keep it short because we got a lot to cover today.
Okay, we are moving to Ibrahim Abdullahi. Please go ahead, sir.
Good morning, good afternoon. I'm Ibrahim Abdullahi Sawane. I'm from Sierra Leone. I did PhD at AIU, PhD in computer science at AIU. I'm currently the Deputy Director for short courses and as well as the Head of Department, Business Information, Technology and Networking and Telecommunication at the University of Management and Technology in Sierra Leone. Thank you.
Yeah, that's perfect. And remember,
thank you so much.
If you want to connect and network with each other and share numbers, phone numbers, emails, because somebody is interested or somebody is working in your field, please, we can do that here. Okay, next.
Mansur.
We're going with Armin or Mani. I think I'm correct with your name. Please go ahead, sir.
Perfect. Thank you. Hi, my name is Armin Omrani. I graduate clinical psychology at AIU, PSYD doctorate, and Dr. Adeside and Dr. Edward know me. So my thesis was about the cardiac psychology, and I'm running right now in Canada. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Armini. We're going with
Armani did brilliant work, by the way. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Jean-François, allez-y s'il vous plaît. Can you unmute yourself? You're still muted. Dr. Edward, you help?
Okay.
Hello, doctor.
So, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ali Jean-Francois. I was born in Haiti and came to United States 1994 and went to high school and graduate. So my I was a former, still a law enforcement officer, and I was working in Kuwait. And while I was in Kuwait, I was studying with AIU, with criminal justice, and graduated as a PhD. So, and I live in Las Vegas, Nevada. That's it.
Thank you so much.
Wow, what a story.
Dr. Ali, Jean-François, thank you so much.
Yeah.
So we are going to
Thank you.
move with Dr. Peter Tutsinga. I think I'm correct with your name. Please go ahead, sir. You're muted. Can you unmute yourself?
Is it okay? Can you
Yes,
hear
sir.
me?
We
Yes.
can hear you. Please proceed.
I am Reverend Father Peter Clever Sutinga, a Catholic priest from Ghana. And I studied with AIU in organizational development. And I wrote my thesis on organizational capacity assessment in our diocese on the Cathedral Parish. I am a pastor in Ghana, working in one of the parishes. And currently I'm in Florida for a short holidays and to go back to Ghana by next month. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Reverend Peter. We are moving with Chief Nathaniel. I think I'm correct. Please
Yes.
proceed,
Chief Nat.
Doc.
Chief Nat. Dr. Chief Nat.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So first and foremost, my name is Chief Nathaniel Ebon-Saku. Currently the president for the Coffee Federation of Ghana. And I studied development communication, PhD in development communication. And my topic was on the art of leveraging ICT to bridge the communication gap between agricultural research, academia, and small-scale farmers in Ghana. And I must say, I really enjoyed the supervision part of my study and also the entire faculty and the library, the open library that I was able to have access to. And I think that I'll get another opportunity to share how I'm going to advance the knowledge I've acquired during my study at AIU. Thank you very much and wonderful meeting all of you, especially the Reverend Father. I'm looking forward to catching up with you when you come back to Ghana.
Yes, we will meet Ghana and talk.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Chief Dr. Nathaniel. Thank you so much for your excellent presentation. We are going to move with Hector Rivera. Can you please go ahead, sir? Thank you.
Hola a todos, mi nombre es Héctor Rivera, soy de Puerto Rico. Now I'm going to translate in English. Hi everybody, my name is Héctor Rivera from Puerto Rico. I did a master's degree in gifted education a few years ago in AIU. Then currently finished my doctorate degree in education. I'm currently Executive Director of the Institute of Research and Development for Gifted Students in Puerto Rico. This is, and one of our major achievements is to identify those students that has high ability, high intellectual abilities, and provide them several laws to protect their current educational rights. So I thank you, AIU, for this opportunity, and thank you also for knowing you all together. Good day.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. So we are going to move with Dr. Amadou Usman.
Hi, everyone. My name is Amadou Rufai Usman Mahman. I made my thesis on financial markets coordination, and basically I'm from Niger Republic, a West African country, where I work presently for my father, Usman Mahman. And basically, I explain in my thesis the advantages of financial markets coordination along with the ways that large environments that haven't yet developed coordinated markets can actually set up all the strategies and advantages and ways of making financial markets coordinated. Basically, that's the point. That's the point. I'm friendly, outgoing, and confident. When I speak to people, I look at them straight in the eye, and I'm highly courageous as I size up my opportunities whenever possible. I have the ability to change anything in my life that I accept to change. As I breathe deeply, my confidence expands constantly and regularly, you know, and basically that's the point. That's the point. Financial markets coordination, as I said, do you remember that? I actually have a blog which is which is at the address icfar.typepad.com, which I make monthly postings on which I explain a bit of much everything about the financial markets and in leadership and value investing. And even this month, I made a post on financial markets coordination.
You're free to put the link to your blog in the chat. Not
Can
a problem.
How can I do it?
You just go into chat. Do you see the chat? Where you can type a message. You just type in the link to your blog.
I mean, I am in the chat. You mean I can put the address of my blog? I can see it.
Yes. If you can bring up your blog and then just copy and paste the address.
That's what I'm presently doing. Do you see me actually, you?
No, I don't see it yet.
I see for that.
Okay, go ahead and do that. Dr. Freddie, go to the next person.
Okay,
yes,
great.
I'm almost done with the address of the blog. I'm almost done with the address of the blog.
Dr. Amadou.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome.
You're going to move to Dr. Al-Matari. Can you please go ahead? Hello, hello.
This is Iman Al-Muteri. I am from Saudi Arabia, and I studied in AIU, the legal study doctorate level. I'm really appreciating the university, the most flexible university in the world. I never really experienced more environment that is healthy, understanding environment, flexible. They go when I feel difficulty, they help me with it. It's really, I really appreciate it. It's warm and ideal environment for the next generation, because this is what they really want. It's the new generation. They no longer feel to study where you choose for them the stuff and the majors, and no, they want to choose. They want flexibility. So really, I appreciate it, and I encourage you to sustain it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we are going to move with Pani Kosoraju. Can you please go ahead, sir?
Good evening. Good morning, everyone. My name is Fani Kosaraju. I'm from India. I graduated myself from my culinary school, specialized in patisserie, basically into food industry. Slowly, I moved on to the public health sector within the food industry, where I'm more into health and safety standards for the employees and for the clients. It's been almost 20 years in the same job, progressing year by year. It's a great opportunity I got from AIU to progress myself in my career. And now it was my dream that I want to do in my master's in an international university into the industry and field where I was interested. Now I have completed successfully, and I thank AIU for this opportunity, which is very flexible, to go and study at my own convenience time. I'm sure this would help to further take up my career into higher levels, and nice to see so many of doctorate holders and so many PhD graduates around in this call. and congratulate to everyone and thank Dr. Edward and Dr. Frederick for hosting such a nice event. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. We're going to move with Sheikh Salman.
All right, before we
Can
go
you-
to Sheikh,
Yeah.
we go to Sheikh, the person with Techno Common, could you please rename, give us your real name, Techno Common? You can do that when you get to the chat section. Just change your name from Techno Common to your real name. So Sheikh, we can have you now. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Adizida.
Sheikh, you need to
Mr.
unmute
Sheikh,
yourself.
yes, can you unmute yourself? Mhm. Dr. Edwards?
You do that?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead now. We can hear you.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm not using the ERP. Anyway, thank you for affording me this opportunity. I'm Sheikh Msema. I'm just chatting to you in this Zoom meeting from Vonjama, to be precise, in the Republic of Liberia. I want to say I'm very much excited and very much delighted to have been selected to be part and parcel, and AIU has given me the opportunity to strive in my own way to make sure that I gain knowledge that are relevant to what I want to do to my career. I'm involved, I'm from the School of Business and Economics with emphasis on project management. I want to say AIU have helped me extremely and immensely in making me to excel, because I can say I'm now a project manager or seasoned project manager. I can start a project from scratch, from the beginning, initiation of the project, from execution, from monitoring and out of evaluation, and even as far as testing. I got the knowledge based on the opportunity that was afforded to me by AIU. And AIU is very much flexible. They assisted me, afforded me, they kept on persuading me, they kept on encouraging me to make sure that really I got what I got today. I want to say they are very much persuasive. They give you, they try to persuade you, give you information, try to make you to know that what you are learning is something important to the education, is a right, you don't be deterred. So the encouragement. So I'm very much delighted ready to form part of this March 22 slated graduation, the virtual graduation. I'm very much happy.
Thank you thank you so much, Mr. Salman. So we would like to go with Renita Duncan. Can you go ahead?
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I am Renita Brandon Duncan. Are you hearing me?
Yes, go ahead. We can hear you. Good afternoon.
Hi, I'm Renita Crandon Duncan. I am from Guyana, South America. I recently completed my Doctor of Education, and I did my thesis on the importance of technical and vocational education and training in Guyana and the readiness of the graduates for the latest and emerging oil and gas sector. As you would know, Guyana recently struck oil, so it's important for us to understand how ready our graduates are for that emerging sector. So it was a pleasure studying with AIU. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Renita.
You're welcome.
Would like to listen to Fatmata Camera. Fatmata Camera. Are you there?
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you so very much for this opportunity. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for everybody. And AU, I was so impressed for the kind of courage my lecturer had, and it has been interesting. And because of my background now, I've been promoted. I'm a police officer, and I've become a consultant, training police officers and military across Africa. I just came back from Rwanda, where I have trained 18 female police officers. It was so interesting. Because of my background in the human resource department, I've done a lot. Even in my institution, I've tried to restructure the HR department, and it has been very, very important and exciting. Thank you so very much. I really do appreciate, and I am so proud to be part of this family. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we're going to move with Kabore, Dr. Kabore.
Hello, Dr. Freddy. Hello, Dr. Lambert. Everybody. I'm Brema Kabore. I'm from Burkina Faso in West Africa. I'm an MD officer, national, and public health at AIU, and provide me with tools to lead evaluation and assessment activities. Thank you very much, Dr. Lambert and Dr. Freddy, for during my taking events on immunization. And I plan to use these competencies in my career in Burkina Faso in and improving program impact. Thank you very much again, everybody, for this.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Kabore. I think, Dr. Adesina, I think we got all the students. Left with Techno Canon.
Yeah, Techno Canon.
Yeah.
Let us allow him speak to us. Then maybe he can tell us his name. Then Dr. Edward can help us do something about it. Are you there? The person, Techno Canon. Are you there? Oh my God.
Hello, sir. Can you hear?
Can you hear us?
Can you hear us? Hello, hello.
I'm asking him to unmute his microphone.
I think two people have joined. Now that this is 25.
Okay. We're going to go to Dr. Sebastian. Dr. Sebastian.
Dr. Sebastian. Okay, great.
Thank you.
There's no more here.
Good morning to
There's no more
everyone.
there.
My name,
Okay.
Can you hear me? Good morning
Can
to
hear you.
everyone. My name is Dr. Sebastian Moise. I'm from Haiti, and I want to share my opinion and thank AIU Bird for this opportunity that offered me to study and being a graduate a candidate student, and that I have the opportunity to study the doctorate degree in business administration program and project management. I have to mention also it's very important for me and to have this opportunity. And according to the situation that facing my country during the last month, and according to the fact that this opportunity and by increasing my knowledge that I can help my community, that I can help the institution, the organization in my country, it's very important that my main objective was to develop a strategy to help institution to face and to develop solution and strategy and to face crisis in my country. So it was very a good vibe, a good opportunity, and to learn from AIU and to learn to have the possibility to learn a lot. And it was very helpful that I can improve my capacity. And I want to thank Dr. Freddy, Dr. Lambert, and also Mrs. Dominguez, and you also, Dr. Adesina, Olwafemi, to this opportunity. And I have one thing that I want to mention is message for all AIU graduate doctorate. Consider this degree the fact that we will become. And so that a degree may of the capacity of our capacity and the mission that we have is a degree for myself, but it's a mission that to improve and to help the community in my country that we can going up and moving better. Thank you.
All right,
Thank you so much,
Dr. Sebastian. Yeah, that was a wonderful one. So can we listen to Livingston? Livingston, yeah. Can you unmute your mic? Are you there?
I sent a message to unmute his microphone. Let me try again. There.
Yes, hello,
Great.
hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, this is Livingston Chan from South Sudan. My journey starts way back in 2009 when I had a wonderful telephone conversation with Dr. Valsin. I think he's not here now, Dr. Valsin, who gave me a very good advice. He asked me that where do you want to be in 5 or 15 years, 5 to 15 years from now? Then I told him I'm an investigator in an anti-corruption agency, and I did economics, and I think I will be there for some time. Then he says, then you need to design, you need to go for a study that will give you a mix of economics and business administration. And then immediately 2009, I enrolled for MBA, financial management, and then PhD. And I must say I am very different from 10 years ago, because at that time when I enrolled, I started teaching. I was a teaching assistant in the university. And then when I finished my master's, I was promoted to a senior lecturer. And I proceeded and finished my PhD. And there is a likelihood I'm going to be promoted to a professor when the books that I've written are published. I have printed about 5 books on different subjects, but I need to publish them so that it can be seen everywhere. And all this is possible because of the knowledge base that I gained from AIU, especially with the system of study that they have in place. Study at your own pace, you research on your own, you are only guided, you even know what you want to get. If you want to perform poorly, you are the judge. If you want to perform very, very well, you have to read very, very hard. And that system of doing it yourself has trained me to be able to be self-reliant. And I must say that I am very useful to my universities that I'm teaching in right now. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Livingston, for your presentation. We are going to move to Kofi. Mr. Kofi, I do remember Mr. Kofi, the techno. Mr. Kofi, can you please unmute yourself? Dr. Edward, can you help in?
Mr. Kofi? I do not actually see his name.
I think it's the techno.
Oh, okay.
15. Yeah.
I'm asking him to activate his microphone.
Yeah, it would just have to click on the button. Mr. Kofi, you just have to click on the button.
There we go.
Yes. You can go ahead, sir. You can.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Kofi. Please go ahead, sir.
You can go ahead, Mr. Kofi. We can hear you.
Jesus Christ.
Mr. Kofi, You can speak now. We can hear you. Oh my God.
It looks like there's an audio problem or connection problem. Has everybody else introduced themselves?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, sir. Please.
Yeah, I can hear.
I cannot hear you properly because I'm having difficulties with my network.
We can hear you.
Just go ahead, Mr. Kofi. We can hear you.
His microphone is muted again. No, now it's activated again. It's a network instability. Chief Nat is raising his hand.
No, I'm just trying to signal him that we can hear him. So he should just go ahead and talk. If he can read from the chat, then we should chat him up and let him know we can hear him.
I think we're going to give him like 1 minute in order for him to be able to do that. Still having some difficulties there.
Has who else? Fatmata?
I think
Kamara?
Yeah, I think everyone were
Deborah and
actually able
Barack.
to. Yeah, we had everyone, Dr. Edward.
Okay.
Yeah, we had
And
everyone.
Deborah and Barack International?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry,
Deborah.
I'm only a guest.
Oh,
I'm only a
okay.
guest for Fatimata. Thank you.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Then in
thank
that
you.
case, let's go to a quick presentation of human rights. Let me bring up the PowerPoint. And we'll start talking now about human rights and the UN objectives for a sustainable world. If I can get my computer to recognize that I have the PowerPoint presentation open. Let me try again. There we go. So this is just sort of a introduction to, this is a graduate conference on human rights for 2022. And you are all graduating, you'll all be graduating on Sunday officially. And so the AIU mission, to be a higher learning institution concerned about generating alternatives for cultural development that will be sustained for a more efficient administration of the world village and its environment. Supporting human and community rights through diversity with the ultimate goal of sustainable satisfaction with the evolution of the world. This is the key. We want to have a better world in the future and have that better world be sustainable. That's the key. And the AIU vision, the empowerment of the individual towards the convergence of the world through a sustainable educational design based on andragogy. So let's go. Dr. Freddie Friedgens, if you can present andragogy.
Yes, Dr. Edward. Thank you so much, Dr. Edward, for this opportunity. Let's talk about andragogy, which is actually the system used by Atlantic International University in order to disseminate knowledge and information to all our students. We want you to, it's an open curriculum that enables the student to be able to design his own curriculum based on the professional needs in order to make him a better person within the society and the community. So this is the key component of what makes the education at Atlantic International University. Dr. Edward, you can move to the next slide.
Okay, now this is going to be, you get your degree, and now you have your degree. But there's a difference between having and being. And this is the question, to have or to be. Do you have a degree or are you the degree? Truly, truly, you are the degree. If you have a bachelor's, you have that bachelor's certificate. You are a bachelor's graduate. If you have a master's or a doctorate, you are a master's or doctorate degree. That represents who you are, your level of knowledge, but you can be much more than that. So you're much more than your degree. A degree is part of who you are. It represents part of who you are. And so you are your degree, and that you're gaining and increasing your knowledge through your education. So you don't just have a degree and then something you can put on the shelf and say, I have a degree. Because you are the degree, you have to move forward in your life and change the world and improve your life, find a better job, better income, everything, because that degree is you being able to move forward with your life. Now, Dr. Adesida, can you talk about the importance of human rights? Dr. Adesida Oluwafemi. I'm looking for you. I don't see you. Oh, may have been disconnected. I don't see. Dr. Freddie Fregis, if you can talk about the importance of human rights and what they are.
Yeah, yes. Thank you so much, Dr. Edward. Human rights are the basic rights and freedom that belong to every person living in this world. And we want to actually, all our students to have that in their minds in order to disseminate the human rights within all the countries of the world in order to make this world a better place to live. So basically, this is what we are trying to incorporate into all our students at AIU. Dr. Edward?
Now go ahead and talk about the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Dr. Freddie, can you hear me? Or am I muted?
I can hear you, Dr. Edward. You can go ahead.
Okay, well, the UN Sustainable Goals, there's 17 of them. These are basically goals that the United Nations wants to implement by 2030. But truly, these goals are eternal. This is forever. And all of these goals talk about an important part of life. You can read these goals and think, okay, the world has to do better with clean water. The world has to do better with education. The world has to do better with clean and affordable energy. But really, these goals begin with each person. So you have to apply these goals to yourself first, and then through your family, and then through your community, and then to the world, so that you become the implementation of these goals. For example, you look at goal number 16, peace, justice, and strong institutions. It looks as though that goal is talking about the world. We have to have peace in the world. No more civil wars, governments have to get along, and we need justice, fairness, so that people aren't treated unfairly. And then we need strong institutions like an honest government, good businesses, socially responsible businesses. But now apply goal number 16 to yourself. You start with your own peace, your own inner peace, that you are a just person, you are fair, and that you are a strong institution to impact the world. And then your family is a strong institution to make the world a better place. And then your family helps the community become a stronger institution. So think about these goals in that way. And we're going to be talking, I want you all now to choose one of these 17 goals and talk about it, why it's important in the world, and what you can do to further one of these goals. So now we're going to go into that. Dr. Freddie, go ahead and take over.
Thank you, Dr. Edward. So we are going to go ahead and select one of our students. Dr. Samuel, would you want to start?
Now I'm going to time it. You only have 3 minutes to talk. And then at 3 minutes, you'll have to stop so the next participant can go.
Dr. Samuel, you can use what you have done within your thesis in order to align that with the UN goal.
Okay. Thank you for this opportunity again. My thesis, my research was the impact of mercury, the trend of mercury impact to the environment. Looking at the high risks of mercury as a heavy metal and how it has really been, affecting so many countries, especially, the underdeveloped country. It's even very prevalent in even the western part of the country too. But however, there is a kind of what they use in monitoring, how do they say, they call about the bio-monitoring mechanism here, which is not over there in Africa and some other continent there. So with all this now, you can see how this mercury is being generated from human activity. All this has become a kind of impact from what we have been doing, messing up with the modern, with what Mother Nature has given. Everything was perfect and good. But because of human activity and everything, it has enhanced and created more mercury being generated. For example, from industries, coal combustion byproducts, burning, having all this mercury being released. So how it's being transported. So the way people cannot be having a kind of a nonchalant, I don't care attitude to that, because this mercury being transported, being the source points can come from all the way from Africa, and then the effect can be felt here in the United States. That is how terrible it is. So it's a global issue. So, and then it goes into the water system and everything. It affects when people go fishing. And I know back home in Africa, we love eating seafood, fish, growing up in the farm and all those lovely, fresh food there. We love it there. So, but the water is being polluted because of mercury. It affects the brain of little babies, the pregnant women. It gives them a kind of this abnormal growth, so many things. So with this now, through my research, I've seen that there's a kind of a bio-monitoring mechanism they use to be able to capture it and to be able to cleanse it and on so many things, and there's still work in progress being done. So with this, my research now is that's given me more enlightenment in terms of how this can be done and how the government, again, can really, really come and take care of all those companies who pollute the land, pollute the air, pollute the water, and just walk away. They need to be held liable. So with this, my research and what I've done so far, I am looking for a way to be able to see how this can be done. I know that everywhere there's corruption everywhere, because they want to get something and they want to get the natural resource, mess up the land and move away. No, it's not supposed to be done. So based on this research now, there's a whole more lot of things going on, which I'm still looking forward to. So with this, I believe with the UN goal and all the stuff can be met once these are being applied into it. So this is just a kind of summary of what my research and how it's connected to the goals of United Nations. Thank you.
So just to say, he's mainly dealing with objective number 14, life in the water. And if you ever want to apply for grant money internationally, in your grant proposal, you want to talk about the SDG number 14, life in the water, and that helps you actually get the grant money. It makes it more likely that they're going to give you the grant money because you're aligning yourself with the United Nations goal. So remember that in your grant proposals. Talk about which goal of the United Nations you are working to further? Dr. Freddie, who's next?
Thank you so much, Dr. Samuel. We are going to go with Dr. Temba.
Thanks, Dr. Freddie. I'll be talking about zero hunger. This is a copy of my book, which comes from the thesis.
Excellent.
I'll be making just a cross-reference on this one, on my presentation. There's a relationship between hunger and poverty. And part of the human rights dignity is in access to food. That is a basic human right. And globally, it is a trend. Now my book is actually relating on that. Yeah, that is goal number 2 from the goals that we have there, zero hunger. My book is also touching on the issues of payment of social grant as part of poverty alleviation strategy. It's not the only one, but I'm also saying the impact of poverty increased poverty, of COVID-19 increased poverty. Africa has been battling with issues of poverty. This is due to the economic decline that we had, the rate of unemployment that has been triggered by that. But then the issue of poverty that came, that affected as a pandemic, that affected the worldwide globally, made things worse because people lost jobs and there were a lot of people that were unemployed that also increased poverty. Now, my issue is based on that, to say that the issue of hunger is an issue which is affecting or compromising the rights of the individual, the constitutional right of the individuals. In South Africa, part of the issues of our constitution is to access to social security. It is the requirement in part of our constitution that everyone has access to social security. And it was based on that. As a result, if there are any hindrances or obstacles that will sort of block that access to social grants, becomes an issue of constitutional problem. And it is based on that. And then again, I'm saying that it is not the only responsibility of the government to fight against poverty and hunger. And in my thesis, I came up with different stakeholders who are supposed to participate in terms of fighting hunger or zero hunger. And I'm saying that it becomes the responsibility of the government to ensure that all the citizens have access to food. Then there's an issue of food security. The second issue is in relation to the role of the private sector to play that role of community engagement. And in my book,
just to remind you that you have about no more than a minute more, so that we have time for everybody.
Thank you, Doc. So in accent, I'm saying that the issue of zero hunger is a constitutional right, and it is a human right that all the people have to have access to food. So it becomes critical that we should be able to come up with strategies to fight for poverty as different stakeholders. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tamba. We are moving with Ibrahim Abdullahi.
Hello once again. I looked at 16, goal 16, which talk about peace, security, and strong institution. Well, my thesis, the thesis I wrote is the role of cyber security in minimizing online crime rates in post-war Sierra Leone. As we all can evidence or can witness, as in this 21st century, cybercrime is one of the key weapons. Even we have individuals involved in it, we have states involved in it, we have other criminals for for financial gains. Of course, state cannot be for financial gains for other things. So we are looking at the infrastructure in Sierra Leone. After the Civil War, basically technology was introduced by my institutions, which is University of Management and Technology in Sierra Leone back in the 1990s. But many people have lacked the knowledge how to secure their online communications. Many of us, some people, once they are online, they are browsing, you see some pop-up message and they will just tend to click, or somebody will want to send message or to send text message and embed a link in there to tell you that I'm the CEO of these organizations, XYZ, then you click, I will give you a job. These are all just to fraud people. But the main problem about this is for us to have awareness, cyber awareness. That is why my thesis was emphasizing that institutions in Sierra Leone must adopt cybersecurity curriculum. They must design a curriculum that will focus on creating cyber awareness. That is why the government of Sierra Leone in 2021 enacted the cyber bill, which was passed in the parliament. This is just to work in line with the ECOWAS and as well as the AU and the UN goal to maintain security. In short, that is what I have for you.
Thank you so much, Ibrahim Abdullahi, for your presentation. We are going to jump with, go with Almatu Almutari, Dr. Almutari. Can you unmute yourself? You're still muted.
I can't read. Can you read for me any goals so I can talk about it? Because it's very small, the words. It's very small in my screen. Okay, number. Quality.
We have clean water and sanitation. We have gender equality. We've got quality education. We've got good health and well-being.
Okay, yeah. We can. Yeah, I can pick quality of education. Okay.
All right.
Okay. So for quality of education, of course, everyone have the rights to have education. And for having access to education in any place in the world, it's not easy. Either it's expensive for some people, or it will be not accessible. However, here we have it in my country, in Saudi Arabia. We are so lucky in this issue. A lot of free education, and especially that we have our Prince Mohammed bin Salman. He's supporting all the goals of rights for 2030, and he's developing our country very fast, empowering women. So I I think the quality of education part can apply in another country, but in my country, thank God, we have very supportive government for it. We might need some development, but we are ongoing in it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Thank you so much. So we are going to go with the Reverend Peter.
Yes.
Please go ahead, sir.
Thank you. My thesis is on the organizational capacity assessment of the Diocese of Damango. The church, the Catholic Church, is not only concerned about the spiritual growth of the people, but also about their material life. So the church is concerned about, hunger, how to help the people, because Damango is an agriculture area, farming area, to help them to be able to use better farming methods And then the church is engaged in education in all over the diocese, health, and also gender. So my assessment is on the diocese, how to revamp, the people to know the vision and the mission of the diocese, because some of the parishes, parishioners don't even know what the diocese is all about. So I did an assessment on the cathedral parish in the diocese. And
if I can just interrupt a second, is that the diocese and the church organization is goal number 16 for having a strong institution. Even churches are strong institutions for good.
Yeah, so, and then we have a very powerful office called a development office. And all these things I've mentioned are all incorporated in that office. And they carry that out. Education, health, and all the structures are all there. So I did an assessment on all that, and to draw people to come to understand the vision and the mission of the diocese, so that they can work towards achieving the goals of the diocese. And I did that in two kind of periods. I did one when I was doing my master's in organizational development with College for Community and Organizational Development in Ghana in 2015. And it was an eye-opener that many people didn't even know the vision and the mission of the diocese. Then I did a second assessment of the diocese in 2018 to 2019. And that was very, very excellent. It opened up, because there was no communication between the pastors and the parishioners. And so that communication gap, I did that based on questionnaires. Questionnaires were given out to people, and then they answered, and then I used that group to be able to assess. And at the end, it yielded a lot of fruits. People got to know the vision and the mission and what the diocese is there for, that the diocese is there to help them to come out of their poverty level, to be educated, to have water, good drinking water. And so it has, because of that, the diocese is now kind of growing better than it was. And the bishop was very, very appreciative. And I think that I can use the organizational tools that I use in doing this assessment anywhere, any organization. I think I can use the tools to assess not only the church, but any organization. And that is what I intend to do after the graduation, so that I can work with other smaller groups, women groups, in the diocese, to uplift them, to revamp them, to always know what do they want to do. As you rightly said, where do you want to be in the next 5 years? And what is your aim? What is your vision? What is your mission? So that's the goal. That's what I want to do after the graduation, and to be able to help people to achieve their goals in life. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Reverend Peter. We are going to move with Dr. Amadou. Please go ahead, sir.
Hi, everyone. Well, basically, I think about eradicating hunger and poverty. And I honestly think it is another way of creating prosperity from the downsides, from the downside. It's another way of eradicating poverty, in the sense that there will be lesser and lesser people that would develop begging as a profession at the international levels. And world leaders should be highly encouraged to pursue their good goals of eradicating poverty by receiving a set of global advantages at the international and national levels. I mean, when I mean world leaders, I mean leaders like Bill Gates, like some other, like Warren Buffett, although some of them do not actually come to Africa the way Bill Gates does. But basically, they should receive a set of advantages at the national levels through the taxation of their companies. Instead of taxing their companies at the highest level, they should be given some decent rates of taxation, basically, in the sense that if they receive it, it would allow them to to collect enough funds to actually forward toward other points of eradicating poverty so that they develop the best approaches possible. And poverty is another way of developing poverty is another way of developing instability at the national and international levels. And in order to eradicate poverty, institutions should have a strong solidity at all levels, meaning at the national and international levels. For instance, they should developed countries, industrialized nations should encourage developing ones to develop strong political institutions that would allow them to have institutions that some people cannot suddenly appear and break the democracy, the democratic process in order to make it seem as if nothing of the democracy appeared in years, not even years, but even during past decades, you know. So that's the point. That's the point.
Thank you so much, Dr. Amadou, for your presentation. We are going to move with Arnim Orani.
Correct. Hello.
Please go ahead, sir. Dr. Armani.
I'm sorry, thank you. Hello, my presentation takes 1.5 to 2 minutes, not too much. But the thing is, my goal is always goal number 3, as my education in the clinical psychology, so it's for health and well-being. So UN goal is to reduce the mortality by 2030 for non-communicable disease for 1/3. My goal is to add one more to this one. Even people with the communicable disease, maybe we can reduce the mortality. So that's why I educate myself to the clinical psychology. Again, is goal 3, to reduce the amount of the mortality before the surgery and after the surgery, and especially to the elderly people with the how we behave them. Not only that, but also day-to-day life, how we can just reduce the mortality. Again, to reduce the mortality is one of the goals for the UN. And I want to add that to, from non-communicable disease to the disease coming from the parents. Dr. Adesida and Dr. Edward knows my thesis, and also I upload one image to the chat. If everyone can open it, it says everything by that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Amni. We are moving with
Dr. Freddie. At this point, I want to ask Dr. Adesida Oluwafemi, as an AIU advisor, to talk about one of the UN goals for sustainability.
All right.
Okay, thank you guys. I want to talk about quality education. Someone spoke about it the other time, but you know, I want us to look at the perspective of giving every child quality education. In Africa, in Nigeria, most importantly, if you go to the rural areas, you'll discover that there's what we call lack of quality education. Sometimes when you see most of the schools are dilapidated, and there are schools without textbooks, schools without teaching materials, schools without infrastructures, schools without so many facilities. So to have quality education, it's important that we are able to reach out to these people in rural areas, in the rural areas. These are the ones that are mostly concerned about. At some point, I've had to organize myself and to visit different areas where I taught English to some students in certain places to keep them, aware. And at the same time, I also provide some of my old books, even some books that my children used in their previous classes. I had to donate some to this people. I've had to go, with some church groups to different, local areas to sensitize people about the importance of quality education, because if we cannot educate these people, then we have cut them out of the United Nations goals. We've cut them out of the sustainability for them to also enjoy quality livelihood. Education plays a very important role in the world today, and that is why some of us are advisors. We go out of our way to ensure that the students are able to have the needed knowledge. Sometimes we are strict for the students for them to have quality. This is what the world needs. If you educate your child, you discover that you've educated a person for the future, and the future is going to be very bright, because education provides 50% of success rate. Because if a child can read and write, I think we would have done a lot to make the person successful. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Adesida. Just to add up to what you were saying concerning education, quality education, I think I'm just going to dive into maybe the UN goal, no poverty. No poverty, and as student of Atlantic International University, what we can do in order to empower people and to alleviate people from our communities to get out of poverty, you have to develop the skill of entrepreneurship. As I always say to all my students, that after studying with the university, what do you do when you do you actually wait for the government to get employment for you, or you try your best to develop yourself in the field of entrepreneurship in order to be able to even employ other people with the skills that you were actually able to get from the university? You can actually set up your own business in order to employ other people, not always wait to the government in order to get a job with the government in order to have to put food on your table. So I believe that with the skills that you are getting, and also with the help of the government, because I know for other countries, African countries, they have some programs in order to help young entrepreneurs to develop themselves into the field. I'll take an example. I had a student from Nigeria who were actually talking about some of the grants and some of the funds that subvention that the government was actually giving to people in the field of agriculture. Youth and the young ones should be able to look into that direction rather than having looking for white-collar jobs, because it's been proved that the government doesn't have the resources to recruit everyone and to pay everyone within the sector. With this even current crisis that we are getting with the war in Ukraine and all the problems that are happening within the world, government are actually not recruiting. And what do? You have to look for the skills you have to go into those fields in order to be able to get something doing, in order also to employ other people. And I believe with the skills that you are getting from AIU, you'll be able to do that. So that is what I would say concerning no poverty. Dive into agriculture, dive into entrepreneurship in order to be able to elevate yourself and your community out of poverty. I think we can move with We can move with Dr. Ali, Jean-Francois. Okay. We are going to move with Dr. Livingstone. Please go ahead, sir. Dr. Ali, I think Dr. Livingstone will have.
Yeah, no.
Okay, you're back.
No
Okay.
problem. I can. So can I go now?
Yes, you can go ahead, Dr.
Okay.
Ali. Please go ahead.
You know I'm
Go
not
ahead.
going to be long too much anyway.
Right.
Yes, again, my name is Dr. Ali Jean-Francois. My goal, after, I finish with the graduation with the AIU is to bring justice and peace, help bring justice and peace. And since, my thesis was about, the differential between civil law and criminal law. So in my field, I saw so many injustice that is going on. And I will take the number 16 as Dr. Edward was talking about it, and to bring peace and justice, because when you look at it, there's so many injustice in the world. And I'm a person who like justice. I don't like injustice. And you got injustice from the police officers, and also injustice, inside also with the population. And most of the time when people got money, they always have justice. And those who don't have no money, always, pay for the consequences. And I don't like that. Sometimes people don't even do something, and then they get in prison. And then those who don't have, those who commit that crime, because they have money, they always have freedom. And I don't like that. So also I will embrace quick, as of what Dr. Freddy was talking about, free of poverty, because I think poverty make the domination, like those who have money and those who don't have money. But if everybody have money, I think we will have a better world. So, and I would like to make a difference. And also have too much education. Those who don't have education, we as people who got education, we become like a threat for those people who got in the job, as you were talking about a little bit, because of our education. So they thought that because we are a doctor, we have a master's, so we are about to take over and take their spot. And they were about to lose all the benefit they had. Like example, retirement, and other things. So I believe if everybody got education, that will contribute with the justice that problem we have in the in inside of the United States and around the world. So I would like to make that to make that difference, and with my degree. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ali Jean-Francois, for this excellent presentation. Thank you so much. So we are going to move with Dr. Livingstone. Please go ahead, sir. Can you unmute yourself, Dr. Livingstone?
Yeah, for my research, I took the option of presenting 2 publishable materials. And those publishable materials are, one of them is the economy of South Sudan, is the first written book on the economy of South Sudan. And then the other one is money banking and financial markets, with special examples and illustrations from this country and the region. Now, this comes because the population census of 2008 indicated that literacy rate in South Sudan was 27%. And to make it worse, English was chosen as the official language from independence. And when we were teaching, we were finding problems that we are having people who are coming from Arabic background, and yet the instruction is in English. Me, I didn't have a problem because I studied from Uganda, which is an English speaking country. So the idea was, how can we improve the quality of education, first starting from the higher level going down? We realized that I realized there was need to simplify these materials which we give them. And if you check carefully, you will see that the title, there is a simplified version. The Economy of South Sudan, the simplified version. And in that case, I thought, if I make it on as many subjects as possible within my field of study, then I will be able to ease study for a number of students. So I've gone into that project, and it was possible because of furthering my study at AIU. So with that, I think if I cover as many subjects as possible that I have knowledge in, I will have assisted, because these are materials which are small and you can move with it. You can read from the plane, you can read from the bus, you can read from anywhere. So I've gone into that project, and I think I will be able to reach as many people as possible towards improving the quality of education. I think that should be goal number 4 or something like that. Thank you so much.
That is truly amazing to come out with a book like that at this point in time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Livingston. So we're going to go with Dr. Fatamata Kamara.
Thank you very much. I actually am trying to do something on the education. We are so blessed that in our country, we have the government that is actually assisting in the quality education across the country. Well, I do believe that learning takes place from the womb to the tomb. You learn every day. And in my own area, I observe that it is weakest where it should be strongest. The primary school, the nursery school, where they should have the foundation, that was where we have the challenge. And I have, with some authorities here, come together to ensure we encourage and try to improve learning from the foundation. And that is the primary school, the nursery school. Teachers just believe that they are just children. They don't need any quality education, but now things have changed. And not only that, it has gone up to our own level. And I just want to say, as a police officer in my academy, I am the deputy police commandant. I have ensured we have a refresher training for even adults, because you can't leave the police for over 10 years without going back to refresh your memory. And our police training school has been transformed now to an academy. We are actually trying to improve a lot of things in the educational department, and so much has been accomplished, so much improvement. We earlier on had challenges with female, especially female officers. But to now, after getting this, at least this education and this particular PhD, I have assisted the organization to bring the women on board. And now we have so many educated women in the Sierra Leone police. Before, it used to be, you can count like 10, but now we have over 200 police officers who are capable, competent, and can deliver. And it's a pride to us. And the country as a whole has been transformed. So many institutions have reopened. So many people have been allowed access to education, which of course they call a free education. So it's very good for us, and that is my dream. And I've started it, and I'm not going to relent. With this paper, I'm sure I'll make a difference. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kamara. We are going to go with Dr. Chief Nathaniel. Please go ahead, sir.
Thank you very much. I think that I'm in love with the SDGs, and I've been working with the SDGs for, a couple of years now. And my favorite one is the 17, where we talk about partnership. But with my thesis, I was looking at how I was going to bring these partners together to enable us to leverage on ICT, which falls under SDG 8, decent work and economic growth, to advance the cause of making sure that there's food security, as well as, no poverty and zero hunger. And then, with good food comes with good health and all of that. But I was looking at how we are going to bridge the communication gap between these farmers and the researchers who are so distant and cut off from these farmers, because one, the language the professors will speak is not that which the farmers would understand. And therefore, we get a situation where there's a clear disconnect between the academia, the researchers, and then the experts who find themselves at the helm of affairs in terms of the ministries and the stuff like that, from the farmers who try to just make sure that they advance the oral tradition of what they have learned from their forefathers onto the next generation. But you realize that the population growth, as has been estimated, cannot enable us to have good enough food to feed ourselves if we go with the old practices. And therefore, there is the urgent need to apply what we call the ICT. And I see ICT has an immense potential to speed up all the developmental agenda and the developmental goals that we do have, in a manner that it can cut across almost all the SDGs, where we can advance means by which we can do things in a more, speedily manner, and then achieve the maximum results that we need. So in a nutshell, I was trying to create a platform that allows for the farmers to receive real-time information from these academic experts in a manner that the language is decoded, so that the farmers can understand what the professors and the researchers have already done, and then they can learn from these professors and the researchers as to the new trend and new mode of doing things differently, so that we can achieve better results. And so we created what we call the TeleAgric platform, where people are trained to be able to receive the information, the plight of the farmers, and then pass it on to these experts, and then ask these professors to proffer some kind of solution, which would then be decoded into the language understandable by these farmers, so that they are able to use the knowledge to farm and produce more to feed the nation. And it is a very practical platform that can be replicated any part of the world. It's just a matter of you understanding what the purpose is and how you are going to advance it. So like I said, it's about partnership. I believe in partnership, we will be able to achieve all the SDGs. But ICT also provide a very good string that serves as the capillary that can really help us to get to the veins that we are supposed to get to. So in a nutshell, this is what I worked on, and it's quite practical to me, very dear to me, very passionate about it. I've been in the development communication, trying to package and share this knowledge with others so that we'll be able to do it. But it's actually something that we can package in different spheres. It can be done in education, it can be done in health, it can be done in so many other parts. And going forward, I'm actually looking at packaging this into education and packaging it into health as well. So for the agric part, I've done it. I have the blueprint, I have the platform, it's running, I have the protocols developed, and it is something that we can replicate in any part of the world easily. It's just a matter of getting ICT members and getting the people, getting the platform established, and you own it, and it's yours. Thank you very much for the opportunity, AIU. I'm grateful.
Wow, thank you.
Fantastic. Again, I think you were actually able to do an excellent job, because I had to interview you during your oral thesis defense, and excellent job that you have done with your thesis. Thank you so much, Dr. Chief Nathaniel. We're going to move to Pani Kosaraju. I'm sorry for a caution your name.
Okay.
So sorry.
You can call me Fanny. Listen.
Pani. All right. You can go ahead, sir.
I would like to choose the goal number 3 and 5. It's about the stop hunger. So yeah. Sorry. Goal 0, goal 2, zero hunger and quality education. These two I would like to choose. Being in food industry, I've seen a lot of food being wasted, and to cut it short, we hear a lot of companies or corporates talking about stop hunger and poverty and all these, but unless we do not move and do it, it won't start somewhere. Being an individual working for a private sector, somewhere we have to start it off. With that intention, I have joined myself as a volunteer and started distributing food to the needy people. I mean, wherever it is necessary, collect the food and go to the people, needy people, and we can distribute it. It's not a big deal. On your off days, you can go and distribute. At least you can motivate people around you to do this and turn as a volunteers and spread around. I've been doing this for past 2 years, and I'm happy, and I could able to motivate a couple of people, a couple of friends around me who are joining and as a volunteers and collecting the food from the companies, overproduced or leftover foods, and being dispatched to the needy people within the community where we live. At the same time, I was motivated by someone, talking about quality of people, quality of education. Again, this is something a difficult thing to understand, but if we start break it up, it is easy. Every individual is knowledgeable in something, theoretically, skillfully, or somewhere. Every individual has a knowledge within your own business or your own work environment. If we could help people who are with lower education, coming from a lower communities, coming and working for a smaller jobs, if we can help them to educate, how better they can do the job, definitely they could over a period of time they could progress and they could gain a better job in the same industry. What happens is when he gains the knowledge, he can progress and start receiving better salaries. Eventually, that would help for his family and turn or help their family to to live a better life. Not in a big scale, but at least from the past, at least he can able to support their children for a better education, support their family for a better health care. This is what I believed, and I started educating my own team, like cleaners. I work for a food industry, as I said, like cleaners, like cooks. They are skillful in their job, but again, when they go for interviews, theory knowledge is being also checked. So I started educating them, providing them some for certification courses free of cost, like food safety, health and safety levels of level 1, level 2, level 3. And it has been doing from past 1.5 year. And only the result I could see is post-COVID, they got some better jobs with a better salary. And I'm happy that at least that could help their families. And I'm sure these kind of individuals will motivate their friends for a it's like a chain impact. So whatever we could do as an individuals, I think that would definitely help to achieve the goal of United Nations. That's in a big scale, but in a small scale, we can start off and motivate someone to do something which is better. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So I think we're going to go with Renita. Duncan, can you please go ahead and unmute yourself? Benita? Dr. Edward, can you help?
I sent her a link to unblock her microphone, but I don't know if she is there. Let me try again.
Okay. Whilst you're trying, I think we're going to go for Stella.
Yeah, move on to Stella.
Stella, can you please go ahead?
I am asking her to activate her microphone and no response yet. Let me try again.
Actually, all the scores are interrelated.
Yes.
So
all
we are
the
moving.
scores are interrelated.
We are moving with Dr. Kabori. Dr. Kabori.
Hello. Thank you, Dr. Freddy. Thank you, everyone. Okay. I'm from Burkina Faso in West Africa, as I said, and my plan will deal with many challenges because in my country the burden of disease is so higher. It is about 270 deaths per 1,000 live births, and 85 deaths between under 5 children. And regarding this challenge, and what I want to mean is that these deaths are about HIV, it is about tuberculosis, it is about malaria, and also about immunization preventable diseases. And for these challenges, we have the support from the Global Fund and also from the USAID. And with my training at AIU, I have created a business which targets to improve healthcare and community healthcare capacities, because most of the time we can see the program means targets to reduce inequalities between communities and peoples, and also to ensure health, good health and well-being to everybody in the country. But health workers and community workers miss capacities and tools to have a quick assessment of what is wrong in the field. And with my business, I target to improve people capacities in quickly assessment and how to correct things to make sure everybody access health services he needs, and whatever in urban and rural area and in every part in the country. And at the beginning, I will target the country in the Burkina Faso, but after that, I will cover many other countries in West Africa and in Central Africa, because I'm collaborating with organization in DRC, the Democratic Republic of Congo. And I think that I will provide them with competencies and tools I have get from Atlantic International University. I need to precise that I have a PhD in public health, public health, yes. And that is what I mean. I will run my business to cover well the objective 3, which is ensure good health and well-being to community, and also the objective 10, which is to reduce inequalities in access access to health
to health services in Burkina and in other countries in the world. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Kabore, and a very, very interesting program that you have for yourself and for the community in which you are living. Thank you so much. So now we are going to move with Mr. Kofi. Mr. Kofi, I have not said anything. Mr. Kofi. I think
yes.
Your connection is.
Good morning to you all.
Good morning, Mr. Kofi. Please go ahead, sir.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I hope you can hear me now.
Loud and clear.
Okay. Yeah, my name is Emmanuel Kofi Mensah from Ghana, and I work with United Nations in Mali. Actually, I studied engineering for a lifetime. Due to not having any better certificate, I was lack in promotion. But however, I was introduced by a friend or a colleague to pursue a course in civil engineering in AIU. However, I could see that this very opportunity for me to become somebody in the future. So my thanks to Dr. Freddy. The last time we spoke about how do you call it? How affordable housing in Ghana, and it was very successful having a conversation with you with regards to those things. Well, the only thing I have to say is that if I was able to write a thesis about something, I would rather like to go the way I think things happen in delay of in construction projects in Ghana. However, I was told that doing a bachelor degree, you are not to, it's not really matters to submit a thesis. So I thank everybody, all tutors and everybody that helps to at least acquire something in AIU as a civil engineer in engineering. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kofi, for your presentation. We are going to move.
Hello?
With, yes, Mr. Kofi.
Hello.
Mr. Kofi? Okay. So
Hello.
we are going to.
Hello.
We are going to move with Renata Duncan.
Good afternoon. Again.
Hi, good afternoon. Please go ahead.
All right, so I did use a couple of the goals so one of the most important one I used was the one that dealt with gender, because my thesis spoke about the readiness of graduates in technical and vocational education in Guyana for the oil and gas sector. And as you would know, and it's worldwide, we find that there is a serious need for gender equality in TVET. So that's one of the goals I focused on, because a lot of people, well, based on most of the traditional programs, you find that females are not necessarily boosted in that area. And on the onset, in other areas, you find males are not boosted as well. I also looked at the importance of employability skills for graduates, because I don't think we were training adequately for the oil and gas sector. As a matter of fact, this is a new emerging sector in Guyana. And so it's important for us to be able to find out what the gaps are and how we can be able to fill that gap as a nation, so that we're able to meet that need and we don't have a whole lot of persons being imported into the country to actually fill that gap. So that was of importance to me in my study as well. Added to that, you would know that across the world, and I found that in my research, there's a lot of demerits and negative perceptions about technical and vocational education. And so I was really working hard to help to disband some of those myths and some of those demerits, because without technical education, the world is nowhere. And we all know that skill is wealth. And that's something that we promote here in Guyana, in South America. So that's something that is dear to my heart. And last but not least, industry is a big thing. So that's another goal I looked at. The participation of industry and commerce, because it's important for us not to train in isolation of industry. And that's something across the country we have to really understand, that we have to understand the needs of industry, and then we create those training needs so that our students, there's not a gap between what they do in the classroom and what obtains in the industry. So it's important to have industry participation for not only attachment and internships and apprenticeships, but also that the students can utilize the technologies that are there. They don't do something different in the classroom, and then when they turn up the industry, it's like a surprise to them. So it's important to have industry involvement. So those were the goals that I was able to incorporate in my research. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Dr. Edward, would you want to say something?
No, it's just, that is so wonderful, isn't it?
All right, great. So let's move.
A force for good, a power for good in the world.
Well,
exactly.
I think.
So let's move with Mr. Selma.
Well,
please go ahead, sir. You're muted. Can you unmute yourself?
It's Amadou, actually. It's Amadou. Do you hear me? It's Amadou.
Dr. Freddie, who are you calling on?
Selma, Mr. Selma Sheikh.
Oh.
Mr. Amadou, we have already talked. We're going to take Mr. Selma and then.
Yeah. Okay. Mr. Amadou, just hold on.
Yes, it's me.
Hello.
Dr.
Can you hear me?
Sheikh Selma, you have the floor.
Can you hear me?
Go ahead, sir.
Okay. I just want to say thank you to have afforded me this opportunity again, once more again. I want to be very grateful to Dr. Lamba, who played a very immense role, a very vital role in my educational journey at AIU when I was starting from my bachelor's degree. Once more again, from the School of Business and Economy with emphasis on project management. For me, among the SDGs, I take SDG goal number 1, because looking at number 1, looking at it is almost intertwined with all of the other goals. Because looking at number 1 is intertwined with all of the other goals. You can see people, if you see the visual picture that is there, people are holding their hands together, meaning we need to come together and fighting poverty. When people have food on their tables, they can be able to do, they can be able to fight hunger, they can be able to have sustainable environment, they can be able to have clean environment. All of the other goals are intertwined with that of the no poverty, because with food, you are able to do all of those other things, but without food, you're not able to do it. So I'm more specifically talking about the sub-Saharan Africa with emphasis on Central and that of the West African region where I come from, Liberia. Looking at Liberia, about 50%, almost half of our population live under the international hunger line. They live under the international hunger line, which is getting that's about $190 on a daily basis. We found out that most of our people in Liberia are living under that line because for the fact that we have a continual increment in the prices of basic local commodities. That is one of the contributing factors that leading to people living on and people cannot afford on their own. If you look at the number of people, they find it very difficult on a daily basis to put food on their table. And another thing can also be the outbreak of the COVID-19 that disrupted farming and that of people that are market dependent. Their activities were disrupted as a result of the COVID-19. That was another contributing factor. And the low income from the mineral resources that our country also depend on. Those are all contributing factors that leading to people living under the poverty line. And more specifically, the area that I find myself, I'm from the northern region, to be precise, Vonjama City. Most of our people who depend on market, their marketing activities have been disrupted as a result of bad road condition,
poor road connectivity in the country. These are all contributing in the project. Sorry that I was not given the opportunity. It was optional for me to have written your thesis because I was doing my bachelor's. Normally you write a thesis on when you are doing your master's program, but it was optional for me. But for me, from my experience from project implementations and being living with my people here, I feel that really poverty is the one that we need to fight. I mean, if we fight poverty, I mean, most of the things our people can live, they will live longer. The life expectancy rate of Liberians, maybe in the south, let's say in the north region, and also other rural parts of Liberia can be increased, can be enhanced. One of the things that I look at, good number of those people that have been affected live in the rural area, but 70% of people that are living under the poverty line are found within the rural area of Liberia, and about 30% live in urban communities. So for me, I believe that Liberia, we need to live for, because being one of the oldest country in Africa, and also in Africa, and we living under the poverty line, we have been highly described as one of the poorer countries in the world. We need to really step up. We need to really move along with other. We need to copy other people, because we being the oldest and living below poverty line, we need to make sure we strategize, make sure we work on our economy, make sure we work on poverty, and also make sure we work on corruption. Corruption has most of those things, and people are not really being genuine to our people. They exploit people on a daily basis. So for me, I think of fighting poverty in Liberia will go a long way in making sure that we go in line with the SDG, the United Nations Sustainable Development Goal. For me, poverty is the one that really, on my scale of preference, I think it's the one that we should fight, and we'll fight it. Everybody can live happily, and everything can be sustained. And because if you want to sustain a community, wherein a community can only be sustained if you don't not doing anything that have any adverse effects or on the community, not stealing from people, giving what is belong to John, give to John, and also pay your taxes as an institution. Those are all sustaining, making the community to be sustained. But in order to make the life, the life to be sustained, you have to make sure you fight poverty. Without poverty, all of those things can be enhanced. But with poverty holding up behind, we cannot really get there. So for me, I think poverty is on my scale of preference as number one. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Excellent presentation. We're going to move with Willow. I think we have.
And then Dale Kanajiter also just showed up.
Yeah, Willow just showed up. Dr. Edward, can you please help?
I'm asking Willow first to unmute microphone, but no response yet.
Okay, we are going to move with Dali.
Dale Kanajiter? Yeah. Okay. Dale Kanajiter is an amazing student. It's amazing how many assignments he has actually submitted. It's amazing. And he's always at the webinars. Every webinar, he's present. Just Dale Kanajiter, can you unmute your microphone?
Okay, apparently it's not there. So we're going to move to Stella. Stella, can you please unmute yourself?
Dale Kanajiter. Okay.
Hello.
We'll go with Stella first.
Hello, Stella. Please go ahead, Stella.
Okay, good evening, everybody. My name is Stella. I don't know whether you hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I am from Nigeria, and I finished my course with AIU recently. I am very much interested in good governance and justice, peace, and strong institutions. I'm involved in a lot of things, include child online protection programs. I am in Geneva, representing my country, trying to pursue things we can do in ICT so that things will be better for not just my country, but that good decisions will be taken in ICT to make the world a better place. That is all I have to say for now. I've had a long day, so if you permit me to just have this short contributions, I'll appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Stella. Thank you so much for your presentation. We're going to move with, we have a new student, Galaxy Note 8. We have a new student.
Dr. Freddy.
Yes, sir. Galaxy Note 8. Mr. Amadou, Dr. Amadou, we will get back to you. We would like to have Galaxy Note 8. Can you please go ahead, sir, and present yourself? Dr. Edward, could you please unmute? Galaxy Note 8.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah,
hello. Hello, sir, we can hear you. Can you please go ahead and present yourself? Yes, sir, we can hear you. Please go ahead, sir, and present yourself.
I am Francis. I'm Francis A.K. Benon.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, that's from Ghana. Formerly with the UN. Before I came, I was working on the goal 16. That is the criminal justice system. And that is what I've been working on, very interested in the criminal justice system. I'm currently back in Ghana, try to help develop, support the development of the Ghana Prison Service. I'm already in touch with them. And there are a number of artillery that we have set for ourselves. And again, as I said, I am into hospitality business, where I own it and run my own with my staff, and equally a farmer. But in the academic front, I'm just trying to deal with the criminal justice system in Ghana. And I think this will be my short presentation for now.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for this presentation. We are going to go back to Dr. Amadou. Dr. Amadou, can you unmute yourself?
Yes.
And
yes, Dr. Freddy Fredges. Basically, I would like to add that all these goals are interrelated. The economic development succeeds the way successful long-term investors invest in good businesses. Prosperity achievement is a long-term goal. That is why the world should achieve the long-lasting prosperity. And the long-lasting prosperity is an objective that is reached through permanent political stability, like the goal 16 of the United Nations. And the work needs to be paid and measured hourly at continental scale. The economic development of industrialized nations should be applied to the developing nations, meaning their economies should be also formalized. And financial markets needs to be fully coordinated in developing countries as well, in developing states. And the best way of ensuring the rights of citizens to health, that is when more and more people can actually increase their education through knowledge acquisition, even at the social level, with institutions like the AIU presently. I mean, AIU is honestly, I think, one of the best international universities that anyone may find all over the globe. the way Facebook became the best social network, one may find AIU can have similar advantages at the global level. I'm thanking AIU for this opportunity of giving us what it takes to graduate even at the highest graduation level. It was a pleasure studying at AIU. Presently, I'm in my career opportunities as business analyst, and I'm also a software developer, but I'm still applying, and hopefully we'll get to the next chance, basically. That's the point. That's the point.
Thank you so much, Dr. Amadou, for this excellent presentation and for these kind words. We're going to look for Willow once again. Dr. Edward, can you try Willow? So
I'm asking right now to unmute microphone, but no response yet. Oh, yep, we have a response.
Okay. Hello, Willow.
Do you hear me?
We can hear you. Please go ahead, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is George Wiro. And at AIU, the thing that I've contributed to my thesis is the economy of Malawi. Therefore, I have found that education is the key for development in any country. Therefore, I will take the sustainable goal for education, which is we need to educate each and every person in Malawi in order to gain a sustainable growth in Malawi. Because if we have education, then people will know how to prevent diseases. People will know how to decrease the population in order to have a higher growth rate. And with the education, people will know the ways of conserving the climate change, and also the issues of land degradation. So all these, in order for a person to be conversant with what are the factors that will make a country to grow, it needs education. Therefore, I will take the education in order to educate people all the way from primary schools up to university. And as of now, I am also one of the university council that is for the Anglican Church in Malawi. And therefore, I want to pursue this, and then so that people will know and we can develop Malawi. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Willow, for your presentation. So now we are going to call on Dr. Ricardo Gonzalez, who is the provost of our university, and would like him to give some few words. Dr. Ricardo, the floor.
My pleasure to be very proud of you, my dear graduates. You are all the best. I wish you the best today and always. And the most important thing, we are so beautiful college of us, and we are very thankful about your presence here and that you be the ambassador from AIU. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Gonzalez.
The floor to you, Dr. Edwards.
Thank you so much.
Yes, now we're going to move on to the AIU pledge. And this is a promise that you make as an AIU graduate and as an AIU ambassador to the world for a sustainable, better, healthy world. And Dr. Adesida, let me bring up the pledge. Dr. Adesida Oluwafemi will do the honors. He will say a few words and then you repeat after him. So everybody unmute your microphones.
All right, everybody, you can unmute your microphones and you'll repeat after me. Raise up your right hand.
Yes.
Raise up your right hand and repeat after me. As a member of AIU.
As a member of
AIU.
AIU.
And an ambassador to society.
Ambassador to society.
Ambassador to society and the world.
Respect and exercise human rights.
I commit myself.
I commit myself.
To respect and exercise.
To respect
and exercise
human rights and to contribute.
Human rights and contribute
To the 17 objectives of the United Nations.
to the 17 objectives of the United Nations.
High order for a sustainable world.
Higher order
for a sustainable world.
And the world moves.
As the world
moves
towards
the inclusiveness
individual.
of each individual.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, everybody.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We made it.
So remember, Sunday,
Very nice.
2 p.m.
Very exciting.
Yeah, 2
Okay,
p.m. Miami time, 2 p.m. Eastern time.
Eastern time, which is basically the same time right now, but 15 minutes ago.
Yes.
Okay.
That is right.
Okay.
So look at your clocks so you know it's the same time on Sunday.
Okay, thanks, Doctor.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Freddy. Thank you, Dr. Edward.
Okay, thank you, guys. It was nice meeting you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks and
congratulations to everyone.
Yeah,
Thank you. Congratulations, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Recording stopped.
And let's keep together. Let's keep in touch.
Yes.
Yes, let's keep in touch. Okay, thank you.
Right.